Afternoon PooTube, hope everyone's good. Part 2, the video cut off. I don't know whether the phone overheated or if I actually pressed something, I don't fucking know. The phone was boiling anyway, because it's boiling obviously. Where was I? No, I'm going to start here actually, because I've noticed the notification. So Pauline Smith, I think her name is. I'll have to check or whatever. You can go and look at the last comment on the last video put out for Wendy or whatever. Go and check out her comment. You see what I'm saying? Oh, you're the wrong type of person to fucking be in jail. Blah blah blah. We're gonna report you. Usual shit from the usual fucking vile little trolls or whatever. Now, a little background information on Pauline. Pauline was one of the main people around Andy Devine and King fucking John Winoa. One of the main supporters. She even attacked Kayla for fucking months or whatever, when Kayla actually realised that, yeah, okay, it's not what I thought it was. Kaylee had only been around that for 9 months, whereas Pauline had been around it for the longest amount of time. Now, as far as I'm aware, Pauline still supports that shit today. Do you know what I mean? Pauline was also pushing around the internet the actual interviews of the children or whatever, which a lot of people seem to have an issue with people like Kaylee or Jake or whatever, but Pauline does the same. So it's one of them, innit? Are we doing double standards again or whatever? These are the people that are around people like Jupiter and people like Wendy. Now, they seem to get a pass, people like Pauline. I even did a video over a year ago when Pauline was chatting shit again or whatever. And I said to her, you know, if you want, I'll fucking spark a live up or whatever, and you can jump on and can go over all this shit or whatever. There's so much shit that I've kept documented. Like I've told people for time, whenever a device gets full or whatever, I don't like start deleting shit or whatever. I just buy another fucking device. I've got fuck knows how many phones put aside, fuck knows how many not SIM cards, fucking memory cards put aside, 3 laptops put aside. The amount of fucking evidence I've got that go back years and years and years, because I know these little rats always pop up and always have some shit to say. By all means, Pauline, put another dumb comment now, say that you want to fucking have this out with me or whatever, and I'll quite happily go live tonight. You can jump on and you can go over all this shit. You can try and defend whatever that your fucking past fucking shit that you've done with all these wonky cunts or whatever, when you've been trying to entrap veterans into storming Parliament based on Billy bullshit. We can go over all this shit. So don't come to me with your moral bullshit or whatever. You are by far one of the scummiest fucking old bitches that I know, and to be honest, you sat with Jupiter, Wendy, Babs or whatever, you're in the right place. Do you know what I mean? You fit in well there. Do you know what I mean? Get in where you fit in. So yeah, by all means, just drop a comment and say, yeah, go on then, let's go live or whatever, and I'll bring you down to your knees, you daft cunt, just with the things that you've actually said and actually done. I don't need to twist things, I don't need to manipulate things into something that they're not, like you fucking old witches or whatever. The truth is more than enough, and it does the job. Now, if Wendy and Jupiter knew full well what you was about, would they be okay with it? I don't know. They might be. Seems to be a lot of double standards around them. Maybe they would be okay with it, I don't know. Can always find out though, can't we? So yeah, if you want to go live and whatever, Pauline, we can do that. We can facilitate that. I don't really do lives, but I will to show people what you're about. Another scumbag that's around Jupiter and Wendy. I'll do that all day, it's not a problem. Right, I'm going to pause this while I go and grab some food. Hopefully it won't overheat when I come back or whatever. Now, where was we? So, part 2. Like I say, video cut off, phone overheated, some shit, I don't know. Now, it's one of them, all this bullshit from the usual trolls. I expected it, do you know what I mean? Now, it's one of them, when you've been around this for all this time, you've made all these connections, and they're no longer just people that you've been to a demo with, people that you've done a lot more with or whatever. I'm obviously not going to go into too much or whatever. Do you know what I mean? When I've been down there for demos and all this shit or whatever, I've ended up staying there a weekend, staying at people's gaffs, fucking all sorts. I've worked down there for fucking 6 months or whatever. Now, when you do that and you've been out with these people and all that, you become quite a fucking tight group of people or whatever. So when you've got dumb little cunts like Pauline and fucking Wendy, oh, we're gonna make reports. Go make your fucking sad little reports, you dumb cunt. I'm certified from fucking day one, you daft cunt. Before this even evolved and turned into what it is now, I was certified, so your reports ain't worth shit. You're dealing with shit on a fucking PooTube level. Now, PooTube for me was just a sideline. I said this from day one. Do you know what I mean? I prefer being boots on the ground, dealing with real people on a fucking one-to-one basis. I'm not some crybaby little bitch or whatever that just talks shit on the internet, cries on the internet, and fucking goes making sad little reports and sitting in fucking sad little groups going, oh, let's take the channels down. That's all you can do. That is all you can do. I just laugh at people like you. You're embarrassment to fucking anybody around you. Now, there's loads and loads and loads of patriots that know me. Actual patriots, not like what it seems to be at the moment, where everyone's just got a massive fucking ego. Everyone's working their way forward to fucking making money out of it or whatever. I'm on about actual hardcore fucking patriots. Now, most of these people have come away from shit. They've come away from shit because they can see the same problems that I've seen. Now, everything has got a fucking shelf life or whatever, and the amount of people that have realised that or whatever and have come away from the movement is mad. I mean, you can look at old videos from 10 years ago or more or whatever, and the people that are around now, realistically, as compared to then, it's a massive big difference or whatever. Now, it's one of them. People realise for themselves that whatever's going on, whatever's happening and whatever, it's not really doing out. It's not really achieving fuck all. Now, it's one of them for me. the people that was around some years ago or whatever, to me, they was the salt of the earth people. They was the fucking, do you know what I mean, the decent people or whatever. Now, when the decent people come away or whatever, and you're just left with the newbies or whatever, it isn't what it was fucking, it isn't what it once was. It is that simple. It's become something very different. Now, I came away from this movement because of all the fucking hope not hate shit around whatever, and I've made it abundantly clear to people that are still around it now or whatever, people in Team Tommy, the problems. I shown them the evidence was shown, evidence was given and whatever, and yeah, like everything or whatever, people turn a blind eye to it in the name of, oh, we don't want, you know, we don't want infighting. Now, I get that, I do get that, but when it comes down to people being in hope not hate and whatever, and people being able to gather people's data and information and whatever to then pass on to third party trolls, which has happened to many people, which I am going to go over as it goes. I'm going to go over just to show how fucked up it is or whatever, to the point where people that know turn a blind eye. Even people like Tom Zero or whatever, he knew full well what was what or whatever. He had a good opportunity as he was sat with Tommy in the back of cars and all this shit or whatever for a couple of months. At that period of time, he could have easily just said to Tommy, you know, I know we don't want infighting or whatever, but I think you should have a look at this and that and this and that. It is quite concerning or whatever. Now, Tom gave it the big un. He made out he's going to do this and he's going to do that and all this fucking whatever. And then Jason Tyler locked him out of his own site because he was his provider. And Tom folded like a cheap deck chair with a fat bitch like Jupiter sat on it. So at that point, do you know what I mean? It just shows me, even the people that like are willing to not turn the blind eye, they only need a tiny little pressure on the precious little site or whatever. I'd rather burn that site and throw it in the bin than fucking fold like a deck chair. Do you know what I mean? But nah, not Tom Zero. He decided he was going to fucking fold like a little bitch, bend over and take it up the arse by fucking hope not hate rat Jason Tyler. Now, it's not just my words, I can prove it. In fact, I will prove it. I'll put a little video out later, no longer than 2 minutes, because I know some people have got a fucking attention span of a fucking goldfish. So I'll make it a nice and short one, a minute or two, that's it. That's all that needs to be put out. You can see for yourself, do you know what I mean? It is what it is. I don't need to fucking lie. I don't need to deceive people. I don't need to pretend things are other than they are. And to be honest, that's why I am like taken into people's folds, etc. Because I'm, you know what I mean? I am what it says on the tin. I don't make out to be something that I'm not. I don't fucking mince words. I don't fucking say one thing and mean another. I say what I mean and I mean what I fucking say. It has always been that case. And when you are genuine people will fucking flock to you. It is that simple. So for all these little dickheads, oh, I'm going to make a report. Go and do what you're doing. Go and do whatever makes you fucking feel happy, you sad cunt. It ain't going to affect my day in any way, shape or form. Half of these cunts don't even know what certified means. So it's kind of wasted on these twats. Now, it's one of them for me. for every bad thing people put forward or whatever, I always bring something decent out of the mix or whatever. And it does. It separates fucking decent people from wonky fucking rats or whatever. I always see these opportunities as a filter to separate shit cunts from decent, honest fucking people. I don't even need to go down the road of patriots or whatever. Just good, solid, fucking decent people is enough for me. Do you know what I mean? Now, Shield will continue to thrive or whatever. Now, I don't think I finished saying what I was saying on the first video before it fucking cut off. Now, the one person which I've seen trying to mix two things into one thing or whatever, into Shield, I kind of knew it was coming. I know this person loosely from around the movement or whatever. I know he's been around for a couple of years or whatever, so he thought he was going to be able to join the Shield, go there, this, that and the other. Even before he'd even met anybody or whatever, it was a case of, oh, you know, like, you need to let me speak, blah blah blah, we all need to join together, this, that and the other. You could tell full well what his aim was, to try and turn it into another cast off of fucking Tommy Robinson. Now, by doing so, he literally caused his own problems anyway. Now, when it come to the meeting or whatever, and he did turn up, I'll give him his due, he did turn up and he tried his shit. I wouldn't mind, he was fucking wired out of his face. He was fucking mumbling and stuttering, and that was the aim, to try and fucking combine two things into one thing, which by doing that you're just killing it, you're just destroying it. People can stand back and just go, oh well, it's far right, you know, look, every time they get an opportunity, oh Tommy, oh Tommy, and it just kills it. Now, like I said on a previous video or whatever, you can have two things that exist, you can have 5 things, 10 things that exist that, okay, yeah, you know, they may well align with each other, but you don't need to tie them things together. Why would you put all your eggs in one basket, realistically? To me, that would make no sense. It wouldn't make sense from a tactical point of view, it wouldn't make sense from a business point of view, it won't make sense on fucking any level. When you can see that anything to do with anything on the right just only captures the same people regardless, you've got loads of people that support Tommy, support Britain First, support whatever, you're only capturing a certain amount of people. A lot of people, the majority of the country, won't get involved. They will not get involved. The media has done a very good job of making sure that that won't happen. They've put a stigma on it. If anyone that joins anything like that, you're far right, you're racist, you're a fucking blah, we'll target your jobs, we'll target your kids, we'll do all this fucked up shit. Now, when you've got people in the mix that are being given fucking platform and, oh yeah, you know, anyone that sub to me, sub to fucking Jupiter and all this shit, knowing full well you've got fucking Hope Not Hate collecting evidence in the background and whatever and dishing it out to third party trolls, you create your own problems. You literally are part of the problem. You are destroying it from fucking within, and you're inviting known wrong-uns to join you. So these things are short-lived. Now, when this has gone on in the meeting or whatever, it's not ended well. It's not ended well. It didn't go well for him. He was asked nicely, but because he was wired, it didn't fucking seem to be registering. all I will say is I can't see that person coming back to any further meetings. Now, that should be a lesson realistically to anybody else thinking about going down that line or whatever. It's not needed, it's not necessary, it's definitely not wanted. What's going forward will be done properly, and for me, when I seen that unfold or whatever, for me that was a deciding factor. I've been to a few meetings, I've been and met a few people, spoke about other groups and whatever, and when you can see underlying problems which are bound to evolve into bigger problems, I'm not going to get involved and waste my time on shit like that or whatever. I'm not gonna. I've wasted fucking enough time around this shit, trying to repair it, trying to clean shit up. If people would rather be in a shit situation and have shit on the walls and shit on the floor and shit on the ceiling and shit on everyone around you, then yeah, I can't deal with that shit. For me, like I say, I had to come away 3 years ago. I made it very clear the reasons why I come away. The people around team told me no full well why I came away. I did one video, made it clear, I put it out. I've never been questioned, I've never been challenged. People are fully aware what I was saying on the day was correct, and the build up to that was correct. They just chose to turn the blind eye. Now at that point, all you can do is wish them well, let them keep doing what they're doing, knowing full well that the people that are around it, anyone that like is outspoken and has a voice around it and whatever, and points these fucking, do you know what I mean, does the fucking work or whatever, you will be targeted. You will have your fucking family targeted. Your children, if they're working and whatever, will lose their jobs, and all these things will just be ignored. We'll just carry on regardless. Now, Anne-Marie Waters and whatever, same shit, same party, same fucking whatever, same people. Now, Danny Simpson was one of the top people around that party or whatever. Now, because Danny was talking to me and was sharing information, sharing facts, having the open, honest discussions or whatever. Tom Zero had warned. It's one of them, innit? There's no getting around it. There's no dodging it. Tom Zero was fully in receipt of the facts. He knew what was what. He'd been told of the phone call. I sent him the phone call where Anne-Marie Waters' party was admitting, yeah, Graham Craddock come from Hope Not Hate camp, but he's had a change of heart. So when Tom Zero actually called it out, because he was in receipt of the facts and the evidence, he'd warned, Tom Zero warned Danny Simpson of the issue of having Jason Tyler, Wake Up UK, around that situation, because he was an information gathering little rat that is literally connected to fucking Hope Not Hate and whatever, giving out details to third party trolls and all that to fuck up patriots, do you know what I mean? Now, like I say, after Tom was made aware of this or whatever, he had warned Danny. I'll give credit where due, he did warn Danny. Now then, when Danny's called it out, Danny Simpson called it out, Tom all of a sudden did his usual weak fucking limp-wristed fucking move or whatever, and didn't back him up, and that made Danny look a cunt or whatever. Now, when all this was happening, I had a lot on or whatever. As some people know, my mum worked well at the time and all that, so I didn't have my eye on the ball, you know what I mean? I have to be honest or whatever. When Danny brought a load of stuff to my attention, I weren't able to respond. I didn't have the time to go for it all and whatever, and then when I did, I felt proper bad. I thought, fucking hell, no way he's been going through all this shit on his own or whatever. And they'd literally turned his life upside fucking down. Doxed him, doxed his address, fucking lost him his job, you name it, they did it, to the point where he was in quite a bad way, do you know what I mean? And I don't like to see that at all. But to the people around or whatever, it's just fucking cannon fodder, do you know what I mean? It's cannon fodder, it's not fucking important. So, for a whole host of reasons, I came away from the movement or whatever, because it's one of them, innit? You treat people like that, and you know full well that what they're saying is right, and by ignoring it, you're actually fucking causing more problems. You're inviting more problems, and you're showing them there will be no fucking consequences for the actions or whatever. Do you know what I mean? You're literally, at that point, you're inviting the problems. You're not helping any situation. All you're doing is driving decent people away. So for people that can't figure out why I'm a bit of a dick with Tom Zero or whatever, there's your answer. There is your answer right there or whatever. And again, do you know what I mean? It's not just my words. I can prove everything I say. Any time there's been an issue or whatever, it's all, you know what I mean? It's all fucking documented or whatever, over many devices or whatever. So when people say, oh, have you got this or have you got that, or can you prove whatever, I always can. Now, I'm not saying I've got everything stored and filed and fucking put under certain fucking things and whatever like Danny. I'm not very organised like that or whatever, you know what I mean? This is internet bullshit. Like I say, I'm more of a boots on the ground kind of fucking person or whatever, so it's one of them. But I know how snidey these little rats are, so like I say, I never delete shit. I just buy another fucking device or another memory card or whatever. So anything and everything is there, is accessible. Might take me a couple of days to find something, might take me a week, might take me a fucking month when I get a chance or whatever, but I'll always prove my point regardless. And that's why nobody really wants to have it with me or whatever, because I will always prove my fucking case to be the case. I don't rely on, oh, well, you know, take my word for it or not. With so many shit cunts around that just tell nothing but lies, I wouldn't rely on anybody to just go, oh, well, I'll take your word for it. People that know me well, yeah, they will take my word for it because they know what I'm about. They know I don't lie, they know I don't chat shit, they know I don't fucking say something unless I can prove something. So, yeah, we are where we are. Now, like I say, everything has a shelf life, and everything that I have done and I've been a part of had a purpose, and it all needed to happen to move forward to where we are today. Now, when we first started out all this or whatever, nobody believed half of the shit that was being put forward. You know, all the grooming gang stuff, all this, whatever. It was a case of like, you was automatically branded racist, far right, blah fucking blah. That's why for people that have been around, the labels don't mean nothing. They're meaningless. When you was happy to stand there and fucking argue your point in the early days or whatever, now all the evidence is out. now all the evidence is out and shit. It's fucking light work. Do you know what I mean? Now, when you've got not only the country but the fucking most of the world awake to what has actually been going on, you know, it's not disputable, it's not debatable. These things have gone on, and X, Y, and Z have pointed it out. It's not just Tommy, there's loads of people that are pointing these things out. Now when X, Y, and Z have fucking pointed it out or whatever, and they have done years ago, they're all justified now. You can not like them all you want. You can put, you know, you can try and slur the names and fucking, do you know what I mean? Do all the dodgy shit or whatever. But fact of the matter is, people are aware what's what. People are aware that the people that have been pointing these things out, regardless whether you like them or they're not, it's factually correct. It's not racist to point out what's been going on. It's not fucking... Nice one. It's not racist to fucking point out the shit that's been going on and whatever. Not when it's do you know what I mean? This shit's detrimental to generations of fucking families. It's been covered up for fucking over 40 years. People were scared to point out certain things because they was made fucking racist, far right, blah fucking blah. Despite people like Tommy burning Nazi flags with 10 black guys and all this, it's not important. We'd rather stick to being virtue signalling little fucking rats, turning a blind eye to children being raped. We'd rather sit there and point our dirty fucking fingers at people like myself and Tommy and anyone else that fucking speaks out, and thousands and thousands of other people that have fucking pointed these things out. So for me, I couldn't give two fucks. Do you know what I mean? We've gone through the fucking worst of storms or whatever. This now, it's neither here nor there. It's light work for anyone fucking choosing to move forward doing that or whatever. And good luck to him, do you know what I mean? The more you carry on waking people up, good on you. Now, for me, I've said this for fuck knows how many years or whatever, and that's why I was around Pendragons before CMW evolved from that, because Graham Moore was a fucking wonky cunt. It was me that assisted Graham Moore out the fucking door or whatever, exposing his fat ass for what he is. Fucking scamming fucking rat, targeting all sorts of fucking people or whatever. Now, like I say, I've always had a no-nonsense approach to these things. I won't pretend things are other than they are to soothe anybody's fucking ego or whatever. That is not me. These things are important, and it's important that they're done right. And the people that are fucking taking the risks and putting themselves forward or whatever, do you know what I mean? They're fucking looked after, they don't get shit on or whatever. So, yeah, go on. So, yeah, we are where we are with all these things. I personally couldn't give two fucks what anybody thinks, and never have, and never will. I'm very solid in the fact that I know exactly what I'm about. I've known from the moment I fucking entered this fucking movement, and long before that. Anything that's been put forward my way, problems wise or whatever, I just see it as a fucking challenge. Do you know what I mean? You don't look at a problem, you look through the fucking problem. Now, for some people that are around now, it's just an ego fucking extension fucking bullshit. All they do is want to build their egos off having the fucking back and forths on YouTube and whatever. It's piss poor. Now, when you've been involved with all these different groups and different fucking types of people and whatever, it just makes you a more rounded individual. And you can actually stand on your own two fucking feet and defend things for yourself. You don't need to be part of any weird little shit groups and fucking wonky cunts. Do you know what I mean? The amount of people that have to turn a blind eye to fucked up shit going on in their little communities or whatever is unreal. There's a fucking 1,000,001 reasons why something always needed building, and for a certain section of people to move forward to solution, resolve, when you can see full well there is no plan of action in place in any of these groups on the right or whatever to bring lawful solution, to bring lawful resolve, to deal with anything. All you do is pointing at things and saying, oh look, that's bad, that's dangerous, people need to fucking be aware of this or whatever. You're just waking people up. If you're not waking people up to a fucking way of dealing with it, then what are we actually doing? Now, I think, to be honest, the most two productive groups that I have been part of or whatever a long time ago, and that's, do you know what I mean? That is literally the only two groups that I would say, yeah, you know, fully support, blah blah blah. It's actually, you know, it's actually going to fucking give the masses something to be able to work with, something to be able to get behind, and then yeah, okay, now you can, now you've got enough numbers and you're all unified or whatever. Yeah, now you can deal with things. Now you can actually hold the people to account, the people in power. And those two groups was originally Pendragons, discrediting fucking Graham Moore, obviously, and then the more pure group that came from that, CMW. Now, CMW, I've done loads. I mean, a lot of people may have seen that video. I'll attach that video to this video or whatever. CMW doing a citizen's arrest on Sadiq Khan, K, that wanker who's in power now, and a good few other people or whatever. Now, that was investigated by the police. It went on for however many months or whatever, and CPS knocked it back. Now, all you have to do is do the fucking, do you know what I mean? Look at it logically. Look who is in power. Look who is having the investigation done into him, and then look who is covering their back with CPS. Now, the end result of that was it's not in the public's interest. Now, if you look back from where we are, now to that point in time, did they have a plan? Because if it was genuine, they would have made sure them fucking charges and whatever stuck, and they would have made sure that it was in the public's interest. Now, to me, that just shows you that actually they've had a plan in place. They know that people have committed acts of treason and whatever. That was part of the charges. Do you know what I mean? Fucking treason. So when you're aware of all this, realistically, you can protest all you like. You can fucking sign as many petitions as you like or whatever. It ain't gonna make a scrap of difference. They have a plan. They're sticking to the plan, and that's that. Now, I'm not saying Shield is going to be the saviour of the country or whatever, but what it will do is make the streets safer for the women and the children. That it's presently not safe for at the moment. Now, obviously, they're looking to how they can deal with it. They don't just want to be the fourth emergency service, if you like, or whatever. This is preventive measures by good, solid, decent people. Now, it's one of them. For the lawful solutions around, people like CMW and whatever, if they was to attend certain meetings and whatever, it's one of them. I only know so much about all that or whatever. I know enough, but I'm not, do you know what I mean? I wouldn't do CMW any justice, realistically, trying to state their case for them or whatever. Now, it's one of them, innit? You need to be able to explain these things in detail and explain how it would work and whatever. All CMW have been missing, realistically, is the numbers. You've only got so many people behind you, like Team Tommy or whatever. It doesn't have an impact if you've not got the numbers. They're only going to deal with things when it becomes a mass. The masses have all united together on something, and now they need to address it. Now, there's loads of ways, menial ways, minuscule in the fucking bigger scheme of things or whatever, but enough to like get the ball rolling, if you like, or whatever. Now, once you've got a million or more people fucking on the same page or whatever, and we go, right, okay, you know, CMW have shown us that actually we can, because of all these problems and whatever, we can all say that we've got an issue with X, Y, and Z, and until these things are rectified and addressed and people held to account, well, we're all going to withhold our tax. Now, it's not illegal to withhold your tax. It's illegal to not pay your tax, but withholding it, there's legal means and ways of doing that. First step would be being in lawful rebellion. Anyone that's doing anything, realistically, this far down the line, when people are going to prison for fucking words on Facebook and YouTube and all this shit or whatever, you'd be mad. You'd be absolutely mad to be still active and not be in lawful rebellion. Now, these are hopefully all things that we're going to go over and figure out what's of use, what can we do with certain things, what things would be a tool to use against what we can all agree on as a set of problems or whatever. If you can't resolve the problems that we all agree on or whatever, then it's pretty pointless, realistically. Now, Team Tommy have been, I'd say, disinterested from it to a point or whatever. CMW have had discussion with Tommy or whatever. CMW thought they would be able to help out with certain court situations and all that or whatever, but I think Tommy would rather believe his fucking high price fucking barristers and all that whatnot and go down that road instead or whatever. Now, there has been certain things where CMW have basically said, you know, if he does it the way we're saying it, he won't spend a fucking day in jail or whatever. Tommy's gone the other way and he's ended up in prison, so I don't know whether he's ever looked back and thought, should I have tried that? Once you're sat in the cell and you've got time to think about things or whatever, and your high priced barristers have let you down and whatnot, it's probably a good opportunity to have a think about them things or whatever. But yeah, these things happen, these things whatever. People don't learn from past mistakes, past problems, and it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? Now, I believe that Shield and whatever are going to exhaust all means of bring in lawful solutions, lawful resolve and whatever. And I think that Shield will by far outdo all these groups and whatever put together, because at the end of the day the rules have already been kind of laid down or whatever, and that in itself has brought in what I would consider the right people, the decent fucking people that probably wouldn't have joined any of these other. Do you know what I mean? You've got to realise people can see what's going on. There's 80% of the country which have got an issue with all these people floating their way over here illegally and whatever. But they've not joined any of these groups, have they? They're not standing there with you, they're not supporting you in any way. But they can see the problems and they voted with the fucking, they voted with their feet or whatever. Now, for the people in the groups, they can't realise that or whatever. They can't seem to fucking realise that you're doing the same shit over and over and over again, expecting a different result. Now, to me, that is madness. Now, if Shield is going to be something different and literally purposely keep fractions like that away from it, so people can't make out, oh, you're all this, you're all that, you're all fucking far right, blah, fucking blah, then to me that is the right course of action. And that will just continue to expand and expand to the point where, yeah, we now have the masses on board. So when we do go over lawful solutions and whatever to unite around and whatever, do you know what I mean? That is going to have the power behind it. Once you've got the power of the people, and I'm not on about just, oh yeah, we've got 100,000 people together stood in London outside a fucking building that's not even fucking open. Do you know what I mean? You stood there opposing what? An empty building. Well done. It's fucking dumb. And you've got different fucking parties popping up here, there and everywhere. There's more parties at the moment than fucking necessary in my mind. All you're doing is diluting the small amount of numbers that you've got anyway. So you might have 20,000 behind UKIP, 20,000 behind fucking, I don't even know half these parties. Politics don't fucking interest me in any way, shape or form. I'm educated enough around it all to know that it doesn't work. You're literally pissing on your own chips and then moaning that your fucking chips taste the piss. It doesn't work. It's counterproductive. You're literally part of the problem. If you think you can vote your way out of this situation, you are just not educated enough to understand how it all works or how it doesn't work and works against you. By voting, you are consenting. It is that simple. Now, I know Nixie's not been around long or whatever, but she's aware of all these things. People have said whatever, Nixie said things in the past or whatever, and you get people going on there going, oh, well, you're just wasting your vote, blah, blah, blah. These people are not educated enough to fucking have an opinion in my mind. But everyone's entitled to an opinion, innit? It don't mean it's worth a fucking wank though, does it? If it's not based on anything, if it's just your fucking opinion, then it's worthless to anybody other than yourself. So yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up there, to be honest. Yeah. If you're sick of all the shit and you can see it's going nowhere, and you're sick of people begging you for money for something ain't going to do now, just like Anne-Marie Waters' fucking party. Everyone give her 30 quid. She fucked off with your money. She delivered fuck all. She did nothing. And she filled you with shit, realistically. There's just going to be party after party that are doing that. I would be very fucking cautious of the people that you're giving your details to, because I know full well, and like I say, I will prove these things or whatever, just to be transparent and to show anyone that actually gives a shit, this is what has gone on in the past. It will continue to go on because it's never ever been addressed. But for those that are have already seen these problems and maybe they've come away of their own accord or whatever. Do you know what I mean? There's always another way. There's a tool for every job. It is that simple. Now, Shield, there's a role for everybody. Doesn't matter if you're a man, doesn't matter if you're a woman, doesn't matter if you're young, doesn't matter if you're old. There's a role, a purpose for everybody. Don't listen to Jupiter, don't listen to Wendy. They don't know what they're fucking on about. You don't need a motorbike. You don't need to actually be joining the motorbike fraternity, chapter, whatever you would acknowledge it as, or whatever. They are just the backbone, the people that are going to back the actual group up or whatever. The group, the strength comes from everyday people, concerned parents, concerned grandparents, etc. Upstanding members of the community which can see that there is a problem. They don't want to be connected to some fucking group which is going to make them all out far right, this, that and the other. Do you know what I mean? Get involved. I guarantee most people have wasted money on dumb shit things that are doing nothing. Parties that fucking do nothing. They just say the words. They say the words that you want to fucking hear, and then they disappear with all your money and do fuck all with it. And like I say, I would be very concerned as to who's collecting the data, the information, do you know what I mean? The things that you wouldn't want to fucking have. Some wonky cunt from Hope Not Hate have or whatever. Because the moment you go against anything that's been said, or you might just be putting the message out yourself. Once you become a target, you will become a target. Your family will become targets. Your children will become targets. I've gone through it all. And I've come out the other side. So that would be my advice or whatever to anybody that can see the problems and wishes to move forward to something different or whatever. I would advise that you join Shield. It is that simple. That's all I will say on the matter. Don't try and join it with the fucking intention of trying to make it into something that it was never set out to be. It doesn't end well, I can tell you that now. And yeah, just, do you know what I mean? Just be part of a fucking decent community. It is that simple. It comes down to, it's like a neighbourhood watch fucking group or whatever. You know what I mean? You're looking after your own community. It's basically the same as that, but with more structure and an actual backbone to it. A force to be reckoned with at the end of the day. That is all they fear. The people that have got a plan and are fucking having people over in this country or whatever, the people in power, they've got a plan of action. They're going to stick to that plan of action. All your little protests and this, that and the other, they couldn't give a fuck. They're laughing at you. They are fucking laughing at you. And anyone in the mix or whatever, I don't know. It just seems like at the moment it's just everyone's trying to make a move to fucking grift off it or whatever. For me, if you're going to waste your fucking money on anything or whatever, that's up to you, innit? You know, if you're going to waste your time, your money, your efforts, that's up to yourselves or whatever. Like I say, 2 things can exist, 5 things, 10 things. You can still support Tommy, you can still support Britain First, you can support who you want. Just don't drive it into something else that's not about that. It is that simple. If you can multitask and you can do a few things at once, then good on you. Do you know what I mean? For me personally, I don't see the point anymore. I think I've put enough time in, enough effort in, spent enough money doing so. And for me, there's enough people to wait. There's always going to be a flow of people behind you that are just waking up now. People that have woke up 6 months ago, a year ago, whatever. And they can pick up where you left off. It is that simple. Someone will always fill your seat. Yeah, lawful solutions, lawful resolve, and preventive measures for now while we get to that stage or whatever. And that is the way forward. We need to think strategic. It is that simple. You can't just keep doing the same shit over and over again and expecting a different result. That to me just tells me you're a fucking maniac. You've got a fucking screw loose or something. We'll have to think in a strategic fucking manner. Right, I'm going to leave it there before my phone melts. Hope everyone's good. Look after each other. Stay safe. And just try to recognise the real people amongst the rats or whatever. Once you know someone's a rat, fuck them off. Right, enjoy the day. Stay safe.